because you're standing there in this kind of like bell-like beautiful light blue with white on the sides dress. And I see the observation camera on this cage. He's got some genetic research, and he has a calf on the left wrist here. And that's the way that we're tracking him and giving him suggestions. But he also had some sort of like insert in his ears or something on the head that he had, that they were dictating and programming him. But he was supposed to be your handler in life, watching you, what you do. And through his lenses, through his eyes, information would go there to Mars. The first husband to the moon, the information would go there. And you're some sort of carrier of information related to some sauna energy, something would comes to me, something like this. And that's why it's important, because you're like a firebird in your like in your
Like of what? Sorry, Oksana.
You're like a firebird. I see you like a bird. And you change from blue to red, all the time. And the world is like sparkling white. It's like it's not even a planet, it's like a space where space of creation, and you like to create. It's like you nest flowers in that world. You nest in the big large flowers. I clearly see you doing that. And in the other lives, you're very tough. You're almost like a space traveler guy, male energy type person, very strict, very, very precise, very much like precision, what to do and what information to transfer where, kind of like that. But I see you expanded your energy. You have something like a blue helmet or a hat on your head. Yeah, you have some device on your head. And there's like the antenna, it goes somehow down through your spinal cord, down. It goes into your feet, the feet. It's hard to walk your life type thing. It makes it hard, makes it painful. And that's the implant is all about. And also, they try to put you through programs of mind control, that's for sure, by using those handlers and other people in your life. Because there had to be a lot of drama and trauma and turmoil and, thinking like what to do in each situation. But yeah, you're very strong because you expanded your energy. You took off this blue, it's like a blue metallic helmet, it's just weird. And you kind of like trying to open the thing for him. See, he's not very mature in terms of a soul, like consciousness level is not high, but he doesn't want to be in the cage. And because he doesn't, you giving him information, I see him coming out. And I see the reptilian is like, he's almost like trying to grab him energetically, because on his fingertips he has some sort of energy. It's like shooting thing that he can shoot and target you and like zap you with some sort of current. I just like see your husband going though, and he's trying to zap him in the neck area on the back and the spinal cord. But you're just standing there in invisible mode and just saying, it's kind of like everything's hectic. I don't know how you had like life with him, but he's very hectic energy. he's like hard to make decisions, or he makes them too fast. And
Yeah,
he's
too
like
quick. Yeah,
running away.
and always in trouble. For him, he was always in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, mhm,
Yeah, because he gives me this like, ooh, like feeling, but he ran away. He did go through some like swirling tunnel. It's like, I mean, he knows what to do at a soul level. When we don't have a body, we immediately know everything. Uh, you're going back, you're taking your implants off. There's some crystal you're showing to me too, and you're saying then in this, so there's like a crystal, it goes like this, and there's like an egg inside. And this
mhm,
egg has some interesting, it's like, uh, like receptors of a cell, and there's a lot of cells and they're all connected, like a flower of life in a way. And you say each of those centers, like nucleus of a cell, represents my lives.
mhm.
In this is 119 or something. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of dots. You had a lot of lives. And you always had to deal with these two guys.
Oh,
It's just like it's either they were your children or father, mother. They're like switching. It's like a puzzle. Like I see a labyrinth, and
mhm,
you in here, and they switch. And there's a connection to your son too. Like you're in a system. You're clearly in some sort of, I mean, there's a lot of mind control, like um there's different names coming, but I don't think it's important at this point. Um Definitely what years come up is like 69, 70s. Like that's when the whole thing started on you. Like they started experimenting on your soul. And implants were inserted, taken out. But they mostly wanted to influence you not by implants, but by people around you.
mm.
Is you always had to be shocked with some news, with something, with some situations that you like, have to
Emotion.
make
Yeah.
quickly decisions, or it's too complicated and you have to build a structure in your head how to solve it. And then there was always somebody who was trying hard to, like we say in Ukraine, put sticks in your wheels so it's hard for you to finish up, or, you know, obstacles. But I see you going through those and you touch each dot and it opens up like precisely like a bud of a flower, and you see each life and you kind of touch it, and it's like you tell me I changed them. I mean, you're a very wise soul because you had a lot of lives here, but you're all also a cosmic soul, but you're a cosmic soul who's stuck here
Mhm,
now on this planet. And actually, ironically, when your handlers are gone, you're free. And the reason why he's gone now, because like I told you, he feels heavy. He feels like he doesn't have the knowledge. I mean, if I go in his life when he had a body, his
mhm,
conscious mind was very like messed up, you know.
mm.
He didn't know, he didn't believe. He believed and he didn't, he didn't know. I mean, this is a confusion. That's what I feel about him. And that's why he needed to go, because right now the transformation is happening, and it's like basically we see both timelines at the same time. You see
Mhm.
very negative, very positive, but we are splitting towards the positive because that's what we want. That
Mhm.
group of souls who awaken. And like if people in a family, like two different, they have to separate somehow because we have that body is not going to turn despite what others say. It is not going to turn the carbon structure into something else. The
Mhm.
carbon structure is like somebody wrote on those comments under James, like it's 666. It's like a program code. You can't change the program code. It's a reality. My body is my body. I can only get out of here when I destroy my body, my cage, my
Mhm.
car in which I'm glued to the seat in this car. I can't get out, unless the car gets ruined. But yeah, you're saying that you've seen a lot of struggle and they always sway it. So you're saying like you're showing me there's a mushroom. It's a symbology. The big head of the mushroom is where all the egregore machines and all the manipulation and labs and division of labor almost between alien races happen, and then people are in the stem of the mushroom.
Mhm.
And you're saying that they copied everything that we had on the original Earth because your soul studies the Earth, and you're saying there's like what we see is not the real Earth.
Mhm.
And yeah, and you're just like really saying that because you've seen it all. You've been a flower, you've been a tree, you've been a lot of elements. That's what you're saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're all that. When I think about your son, it's like it gives me some sort of pain because, first of all, he has like in the etheric, he has like um he starts hyperventilating like this.
Yes.
He
Mm.
like he has like an attack.
Mm.
Like he gets scared so much that
Has
he
been years.
can't. I'm trying to signal him like talk to me, connect to me,
Mm.
and it's like his physical part wants, but his etheric part is taken, and he's
Mm.
in a panic attack mode.
Mm.
Like I see him like his chest goes in and out, and he's standing there, and I see him as this pink energy, but it's very thin, and it's in a rectangular structure. There's a structure around him built, and it's part of the wall. There's like a wall, and there's like bricks standing in a vertical position. And it's like he doesn't have his energy sphere, like somebody stole it, you know?
Mm.
And that's why he's very vulnerable.
Mm. He's
Yeah,
weak physically. Yeah.
yeah, because he can protect himself. He's being used for energy. He's totally being used for mental, emotional energy. And they periodically take him out, but they always carry him that metallic container.
Mm.
And I see him being carried to the spaceship to different. It's like it's like they have capsules. There's a purple capsule I see on. It's like Jupiter, I think. Yeah, and they insert him into the capsule, and then they start it's almost like applying a pressure of the, it looks like electric lines, but it's like a laser beams on different sides. And see, he might have like migrating pain in his body because they shoot a certain sides of his body to generate some, he might not even understand what it is. It just feels discomfort, because I feel like they also turned off his emotional mental body, so he feels desensitized. Because when you don't have your etheric bodies in your physical body, it's like you can assess the situation, but you don't know what's going on. You're like empty and you function on the programs. Therefore, you can grow spiritually because you're completely taken over. And that, I see you walking around. I see you in a spacesuit and you actually change them. You have the glittery one with like light, kind of darkish green, like army green with the stripes here. It's like a rubberized. And then you have the other fabric. It's almost like puffy fabric, huh? Like a parachute type. Very thin, like second skin, but it's not tight as second skin. There's something about biological interference in the surfaces of the planet that you study with the team in one of your parallel lives. And it's almost like they try to disconnect you from your son, but they didn't really manage to do it because he gets information from you and he trusts you. You're trying to do like stuff with him. There's just a mixed DNA because you show me you show me like reduction of his DNA and it was 57 strands and 47 to 37. It's like reduction by 10 throughout different researches at the different location. They go to planets, specifically to planets, to the laboratory, but the laboratories are connected to the hospitals here on Earth.
Yes.
So whenever that person like him goes to the hospital or connected to any doctors, that's a portal of them to do something quickly at that moment. And for them, they can stretch that moment as many like hours because there's really no time for them as much as they want.
He spent a week last year in the hospital. So
Mm.
no, he was weak, but I had, let's say, to send him to the hospital, and I know he had blood tests 3 times. And,
DNA because
mm,
they needed his DNA again. Yeah. And it's I literally like have to go into that. Um okay, let's do this. Because you also wanted to show me something you're saying. It's important because you're gonna try to do something with him because you figured out the way what they're doing with him.
mm,
And it's like a long story. I feel it's a long story. So if you dig, because he was brought to the planet and he was some sort of creature. I literally see him being it's almost like a frog-looking humanoid form.
The type of frog your friend, what's her name? Your nice friend from Sardinia, like.
Yeah, it's like I see your son, and that just he says I'm from Happy Frog Planet, but they wanted me to get unhappy. I got caught. They lied to me.
Mm,
So he's standing right there, and he says that situation I'll try to resolve it by myself because I must. Because I need to feel. See, they took him as a child,
mhm,
so it's easier to do that. And he says, I don't want to be stuck as a child because they want me to be stuck, dependent, helpless. And he says, I'm going to try to do it by myself because I feel resistance because there's something about the, like you're saying, unwinding the programs. And he's very connected to you, because it's like the minute he came out of your energy sphere when he turned 12,
mhm,
bingo, they almost like sucked him in and encapsulated him in this just like metallized box and
mm,
put him in the wall. And those are all like capsules in the wall. And to be honest, it's like some sort of platform in space. I see that they are on it. And then because there's a lot of platforms and certain spaceships go to the particular platforms and take, but he has an interesting DNA, and they almost like deactivate 10 strands each time
mm,
to cause trouble in his body, to have a reason to take him yet for another test, hospitals, whatever. It's like a chain of events because they're actively doing experimentation. So I'm asking you, what do you know what to do? Because the reality is he doesn't really need to know exactly what the story was, how they took him. But it's important for him, his rational part, him being a boy,
mm,
understand that he needs to erase fear. Fear is an emotion that he produces by himself. He just produces it because he doesn't know what's happening. But now, because he knows what's happened to him, he needs to eliminate fear, get
mhm,
out of this metal box, because when you don't have fear, they can't hold you anymore. You can expand your energy and pop out of it
mhm,
and disconnect from everything, just like you told your husband to disconnect from the physical. I mean, I didn't say that what he was doing. He was actually connected to some objects. Okay.
mhm,
I saw some I saw some old books, a couple, and I saw a cup. I literally saw a cup that he was connected to a cup. He liked that cup or something,
mhm,
like his routine or coffee routine or tea, whatever he was drinking from it. Yeah. And because you told him, because we're all connected, it's fast. Everything happens. Sharing information, not you don't have to talk. And he cut all the strings off of watching you too, because now he can watch you better if he wants to, but there's really no connection between your soul and his or your first ones. There's just absolutely, you haven't spent any lives together rather than here on Earth. Bec- but here you always felt like we were pushed to spend that time. It wasn't
mm.
it wasn't your choice. It was just like the situation was so um
Yes.
happened. So yeah, I guess that's how he's talking to you, and I actually hear him speak French, and I don't know French, but I know what he's saying. He's saying that he needs time because he needs to go to each and every timeline. For some reason, he shows 15 timelines on that planet where it's not particular, it's not like a frog, like green color. No, it's not like that, but just like big eyes and something about the facial expressions and the mouth reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he says he needs to build the understanding in those 15 lives, show his own self in those lives that still exist,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen if you agreed to those black Dracos,
Ah.
to their manipulation game, because
Mm-hmm.
he agreed. He needs to cancel out that agreement. He needs to go back because it runs in all 15 lives. So no idea how. I mean, like it needs investigation, but he tells me 15, and he agreed on all the timelines there, and they're all parallel. Because I think they have a system of the same like ours, like a spiral. You go to different levels. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
different game, but with levels. You improve your body, he says. He was improving you his body. And that improving your body is actually bleeds into this life too. He wants to improve his body, and that's like his desire. And because of this, he'll try his best to change everything there,
Mm-hmm.
to reverse as if he was never taken to planet Earth, he
Mm-hmm.
says. And that's a smart decision. Well, you're basically standing right there, so you're telling him. Yes, it's like an illusion here. We really are living in an illusion, but it's real illusion. So if we cancel the fact that particular moment when somebody grabs us from those lives and brings us here, implants us here like a seed of a flower, we can like, okay, we annulled this life. We still exist. We still have to live until the body, until we decide to leave this body, until we want this body to die, and then we are going. We still keep the experience, but for the soul, the perception of this life never happened, but I have the experience gives the soul like freedom that hey, I can change everything. It's kind of like that. Like for me, this life is really nothing. I mean, in terms of because I have a timeline when I came here, it was my choice. I wanted to help. But I wanted to help others because in the other parallel lives, I was actually brought here by force. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen other souls brought by force. So I wanted to help myself to get out of the matrix and help them to get out of the matrix too. But you're gonna work. He says 5 to 8 days, and you'll see the difference. His soul.
Mm-hmm.
So some souls actually say precisely like, and he's very he likes to write in steps. His soul, your
Mm-hmm.
son's soul, writes in steps. Like I'm gonna do this, that, and that, and the result is probably gonna come down slowly. But he says, I'm like connected to him now, and he says, well, up to 15 days I'm quick, like that.
To find his own solution.
And yeah, and I also feel like his body and the way he behaves on physical body is different from his energy body.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the energy body, he still kept his personality.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, despite DNA is different thing, but it's like a what soul bases its knowledge on the experiences, and it shapes up a soul's. I mean, for me, it's like a personality. Because
Mm-hmm.
some souls are very strong and assertive, like you said, like aphasia, yeah. Or some are just like flimsy, kind of like like plasmoids, like I've seen in a lot of sessions, or bodies that are soft and like they always change or they adapt,
Mhm.
to others. Yeah. Yeah, but let's see what he does. Because you're gonna see the changes. Because he says that he has to do it by himself anyway. It's it's a wrong perception that if somebody helps you that that person does it for you. No, I'm just giving information. Basically, I'm like a crystal who has information, and you read me like a book quickly, and you give that information to him.
Mhm.
So, and then you go further and you spread information to others. And that's why it's important to do it, because we create a spider web of, I mean, maybe spider
Mhm.
web is not the best association for
The
people,
web.
but a
Web.
network of people, network of souls that
Mm.
expands information, therefore expands the light. And the more expansion of the light, because we're in duality, they created darkness and the light, and we cannot escape it. Even though up there duality doesn't exist, but here it does when you're in the physical body. So we expand that light and we push that positive timeline. So we kind of hold the spectrum of light we're in together.
Mhm.
To we still see the dark side,
Mhm.
but we on the light side. It's like I'm on this side of the fence. Yeah.
So all the physical pressure Finn has each day, like having diarrhea, not being able to walk, that's linked to the etherical pressure.
Yeah, well, no, it's linked to the constant experimentation on his etheric body, which includes, imagine, all the insertion of implants, all the insertions of substances, IVs, changing of the DNA. They do it through substances injected into the body. So
Because
he's
that night he
and
had his.
he's not moving. He's unstable like this. He's stuck in a rectangular metallic structure. So it's like his skeleton is completely like a rock. Can't move. It's not flexible. He's not walking. He's not doing much. Because what you see there, it's it's what you see down here.
Mm.
It's always
Yeah.
connected. So, but yeah, there's another life of yours when you were like in a white coat on some planet do research. You like doing research. It's almost like a medical research. And that's probably why they're a little bit connected to this. And you like to study stuff. You go deep, you study, you make notes, you process information like a scientist in your head.
Hmm.
So, and that's what they didn't think, that they hoped that you would not wake up or not start assessing, but because of him, basically,
Mm.
you woke up and started assessing, connecting the dots and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah. Because of that, I started to do all the research.
Yeah.
Following you, even James, I listened to him and I just suddenly
Yeah.
let's say, woke up of about things, the possibilities.
Yeah, and when you were little they did monarch. I keep hearing in my head monarch, mind control. You were in that when you were a little girl. It's totally, I don't know what family member exactly was in your family who was your handler, but
I have no idea. But I read a lot about Scotty O'Brien and all these people since, well, it's 20 years reading about that. I knew when I was 15, but I have no idea who could have been my handler.
yeah, because I can't, like, without going into deep trance, to say that either. I feel it's in the family, but just doesn't come up for some reason, exactly if
Yeah,
the female or male even.
I heard that my elder sister in another life tried to poison me. So I don't know if I don't know who.
When you say the word life, it's like my head is exploding because you had so many lives, and you have specific souls, and you're just being ding ding ding. They change the position. It's like a beehive, you know. They have the souls, your family, and then they change their positions and they write a script. And it's almost like what you do in between lives. You go to some sort of it's like a little village with houses, and all those souls live in different houses, and you have to agree. You sit at the one big table. It's like you have a picnic, okay, but you don't. There's no food or anything, and then you sign agreements in between who's going to be who in the next life. It's set out for you that way. I know that your soul is telling me that, and you figured that out. That something wrong with it too,
Mm,
because it seems like nobody ever wins in this board game,
mm,
and that means something strange about it. So, but now is the time of the see when the harvest of the souls happens, and it's happening now. Each soul is trying to think, should I get rid of the physical body or should I stay to see
mhm,
the show, of all this nonsense going on, and um, all this chaos that's going to happen in the earth. And you decided to stay, but to stay, you have to wake up and find out everything and disconnect from everything too.
mhm,
So that's why you were like pushed, you've got to do it now. And that's why I'm pushed to
mm,
do more of the sessions, because I'm like, I can't sleep at night because I know that if you don't do it, then the souls are going to be gone. But then if the souls are gone, we cannot expand the light, this timeline. And it's like, Wayne, which one weighs more?
mm,
Because as you notice, the dark ones are going too.
mm,
Kissinger, the other ones,
mm.
Pope is gonna be gone. I just totally see him gone soon. Um, so yeah.
Still over dark ones behind the curtains, always dark ones waiting.
Yeah. See, they're really pushing hard now. They would try to do anything to get more souls, because at this point they know they cannot completely shut down this reality in their favor. So they're trying to make it's like, if you can't have it for yourself, I'll spoil it for the other person too. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. Logic of an AI, if they can't infiltrate you, I'll pull the carpet from under your feet and you'll fall. But those are gonna be crumbling down, crumbling. But the other souls who are in the middle are gonna be transferred to another world. And they just want to deal with technology. But those souls are gonna be working for the AI generated world.
Mm,
You know, it's like this universe is artificial. Period. It's not real. It's not biological. So it's gonna be separated. It's like two bubbles, like Dolores Cannon was showing. Like there's two. There's new Earth. There's old Earth. Old Earth is the one is totally fake. It was just an eggshell over the real crystalline egg that
mhm,
is like our original planet. It's gonna fall off, and some people still gonna be there, but they're happy to have their money system, their positions, their yachts, their all this game is fun, getting richer and using other people to do that. But they used to be human souls or non-human souls and bodies, but when they're taken by AI, they become cyborgs. So it's gonna become a cyborg world,
mm,
and so that's basically it. Mm, your, I see your son is like trying. You're touching his body with your hands, and you're like generating energy, and then you touch his body with your hands. But the thing is, time doesn't exist. So if I want to, I can speed up you doing all this with him, and I can tell you the end result.
mhm,
And the end result is, he even says this has to be a regeneration of the tissue damaged by the research and by all the injections that have been done to his etheric bodies that bled into the physical. So you have to wait and see, you know,
mm,
how much, because it's possible that there's around 13% is not gonna change, but the rest is, because it's like it took so much time for them. They've been doing it for a long time, since before he was even born. So
mm,
to undo the damage, it takes enormous amount of will, and also just belief, just relaxation and believe that your soul, your subconscious is doing it for you,
mhm,
because that's basically suggestion for everybody. Everybody should trust what the soul is doing for you. Even if you're in a bad situation, that means that this bad situation will bring something much better than you are before that bad situation, because it always brings improvement. Mm. And he'll be trying to tell you a lot of things, because I feel like in my throat he has a lot to say, but for some reason he couldn't. It's almost like it was kept. It's because he had blockages, and I saw him like going through. He's doing interesting stuff. He's creating a plan what he's gonna do when he's completely getting out of this wall, of this platform. When he gets out completely with your help, because you're helping him, he's gonna cleanse his mental, emotional body. And he's saying that he has a special, it's like papyrus, like a null type paper he created, but it looks like a pink bark. And I always see pink related to him. It's kind of interesting. Didn't I see his energy in between? Yeah, and in the beginning, pink too. And
yes, yes,
yeah, he's just gonna like put it on his energy bodies and just take it off, and it's gonna be all in it. It's an absorbent something.
mm. A shield,
But yeah. Mm.
a shield, maybe a type of shield, energy shield.
Um, it's an absorbent kind of shield that is like all the stuff that he can. He's got like a lot of particles of stuff. Like there's heavy metals, there's other residues of toxic stuff.
Mm,
And he says that that's why I'm gonna take it, because the paper is gonna change from pink to purple when it absorbed all the toxicity.
mhm,
And he says I'm just gonna put it and let it stay until it falls off and turns purple and falls off, and then I pick it up and I put it in the portal. Because
mhm.
I see him sitting at the table writing the steps. And you're communicating right now. So you're in the process of doing all of this. And he's trying to get rid of the stuff because I recently, like a month ago, started yawning like crazy every time somebody cleanses, like
Ah,
starts a cleaning process. I go like, I can't stop. And yeah, but he's gonna be, you're always gonna be kind of shielding him. You're like his protection energetically.
mhm,
You were always in between him and let's say other people in the family, you
mm,
know, because you understand him better. Other people cannot get it. They are just totally in their own world. Your world is different from others. They don't get any of this. But there's gonna be a disconnect also in between people who are not like you.
and
Um,
it is if has a connection if who is elder than Finn. She has also a connection. She's an artist. She's 17, and
mm,
I protect her also my way the way I can on Earth in the physical space, and
right.
they're very
Yeah,
different from.
artist. Yeah, there's gonna be more children. I noticed this because my daughter is she's drawing day and night drawing. She wants to be an artist. She's like applied for the art school, high school, and there's gonna be the souls who are artists activated. Why? Because we need their imagination to
Mm,
create the new natural world for us.
mm,
And they think they put on paper and it's created already there. It exists. There's all kinds of animals we've never seen in our life when all the bright colors and unseen before are already up there waiting for us.
mm,
And it's kind of like what I see is kind of like it has to go down on us and we're gonna see through the world at some point. It's not that we're gonna become crystalline or plasma bodies or whatever and be able to go, but we're gonna see through the worlds in our reality because with our minds we create the reality.
mm,
If it's okay when I close my eyes, this world doesn't really exist. It's just
mm,
I don't even think about it. I think about my children on Sirius B,
mm,
like automatically.
mm,
And then I open my eyes, I'm like, whoa, like I have children here. You know what I mean? And
mm,
that's kind of it's gonna be with us just walking around. We're gonna remember all the lives and connected to all the mm, because we're the ones who control our own orchestra,
mm,
and all the musicians in the orchestra are us, just with different faces, different ideas of lives and experiences. Mm. And those people who are still implanted and have entities attached, they're not gonna make it there. They're too heavy energy for that.
mm.
They're gonna disappear one way or another through natural disasters or something else. And you know that you're totally like a biologist.
I,
There's one
I
life you're a biologist.
I had the dream 3 times when I was 18 and later of this big, huge wave tsunami rolling over us people. I don't know
Yeah, it's an energetic tsunami
who.
because not a lot of people are gonna sustain the body in the it's basically imagine the inner sun and the outer sun connected, and we're in this high spectrum of life which knocks us down and we want to sleep in the middle of the day. It wakes us up in the middle of the night and it's not easy. And then you have the fatigue and you're disoriented sometimes and all this stuff. The biorhythm changes. Everything's being changed.
Mm.
So yeah. And
And
it's like because when you sleep shorter time periods,
mhm,
they don't really because we're in a time kind of game.
mhm.
it's harder for them because we can't really go into a very deep sleep that way. That's what I feel. Because when I look at like, how did I sleep for the past 2 hours? Why did I wake up after two? And then I'm like, I didn't even go out of my body.
You stayed.
So yeah, I stayed in. So yeah, well, let's see then how your son is doing, what you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get any messages from your husband. 'Kay, he
Mm-hmm.
might. He's like ding 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 ding. He's like zigzagging all over. It
Mm-hmm.
just he can stand in one place. He might be like you might feel him around.
He
So
comes each weekend to collect Finn and Aoife for 2 days. And yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much,
So
Anna.
50, yeah. No, I just saw the recording. We didn't start right from the beginning, but yeah. Let me turn off the recording.